I think that one of our deepest longings as people is to have connection with others. And when we see parts of ourselves that we think are shameful, we think, if somebody knows this about me, I'm not worthy of connection. Um, then I'll isolate that part of myself. But when I'm isolating parts of myself because I see that part of me as negative and bad or whatever, um, there's often this behavior that actually arises from that, or a part of me that really wants to drive for more connection. Um, so one of the most classic examples of this is pornography, for example. Um, there will be a client who has pornography addiction, and they see this part of themselves as extremely shameful, something that they cannot share with anybody, because they're terrified of what that might mean for my relationship with whoever. So I hide that part of myself. But when that shame creates that isolation then aggravates that connection seeking behavior. And it actually creates further use, for example, and it further drives that interesting connection. But that creates more shame, that creates more isolation, aggravates the behavior even more. But one of the interesting parts about that is that we can recognize that what's at the core of a lot of those behaviors are, these yearnings for connection. And so coming to therapy, when we recognize and we can reframe it in that way and recognize this is actually a part of you that's really good, that actually, that wants to be with others, that wants to be connected, and isn't necessarily bad. Perhaps there's parts of this that you feel like aren't in your control, and that feels really difficult. But let's figure out what part of this we can actually say yes to, and we can recognize it's not shameful. And by coming to therapy and even talking about it, you are automatically going against that cycle. You're already taking a huge step to be in connection with somebody else. That takes out a huge margin of that, or a huge chunk of that problem. Yeah.